100,000 students. And the guys in charge, Sawyer, says they've only shared 32 billion. So that means 72 billion is missing. Right? So somebody else to kind of like push that out. Remember this guy? His name is Usman Yusuf. He's one of the modern day critic. He was very critical of Bokwari too, but he's also the guy that followed Sheikh Osama bin Gumi to Yoruba land to come and mock us, right? You know, I don't know if you remember that video. Anyway, he's been very vocal. His last public appearance, talking about the state of Nigeria, right, has ended in an arrest. And according to the EFCC, they said that when I think it was the secretary or the director or so of the NHIS, Nigeria's health insurance scheme. So they said he awarded the contract of 38 million naira to his maybe his family member, and that one didn't do the contract. So because of that 38 million naira is now standing trial for corruption. But others are saying, no, that's not the reason why he's been picked up. They said it is because he has been very, very vocal. The last video, the last public appearance of his that seemed like controversial was this one.
And no organization should be allowed to bring crowd without ways of controlling that crowd. It's common sense. It's as simple as that. You do not assemble a huge crowd without finding ways to protect how to control that crowd. So for us to even say that the government 2025, no, we don't want to see this nonsense in 2025. We don't want to have to be distributing palliatives to our people in 2025. Mr. President, take care of this economy. The inflation is runaway inflation, 34 point something. Food inflation is 40%. The price of a bag of 50 kilos of rice is over 90,000. What are you doing to bring it down? No, what are you doing to give us palliatives? We are better than this. That's not why we voted you in. Medicine Sans Frontier has been raising alarm of severe malnutrition in this country, particularly in the Northwest. 3 towns in the Northwest, Jibia, Mashimani, 30% of the children are severely malnourished. The story is the same all across this country, from Abia to Zamfara. There is hunger in the land. Mr. President, wake up. Stop everything and feed our people. I've said this 10 months ago, and we are seeing this. And World Health Organization said the severe malnutrition, severe food shortage will worsen from November 2024 to May 2025. We are becoming a country of palliatives. No nation can be run on fumes of palliatives and deception. Rise, 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 rise. Whatever happens, the president will write rise. And what happens that the politicians will hide this rice, or take it to the market, or rebrand it and put their pictures and take it for their campaigns. Now they are bringing it out for Christmas, and they'll wait in March to bring it out for Ramadan, and then they'll wait to bring it out for their campaigns. For goodness sake, what kind of leaders do we have? If we as citizens cannot hold them responsible and think it is okay for them to be doing this when our people are getting hungry, they are buying SUVs of 170, 180 million. What kind of human beings are? Mr. President, if your advisors are not telling you the truth, there is hunger in the land. Our people are dying of hunger, predominantly women and children, all across this country. And all this expensive governance you are doing is contributing to this. High corruption, inflation is out of control. Your economic team are not able to control inflation. We cannot continue with palliatives into 2025. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. Look at the budget. Oh, the military takes a big budget. Is the military going to fight hunger in this country? Hunger is a national security emergency. I've said it again and again. buying Tucano jets or guns or tanks will not fight hunger. And no military, no police can quell the anger of a hungry citizenry. And this is what we are seeing. We've been raising our voices. And I call on our clerics of both faiths. God Almighty has given you the pulpit to speak the truth. The truth is there is hunger in the land. And you should speak the truth because God Almighty will ask you, did you do that? Our leaders do not listen to us. So they're just living a life of deception when our people are dying of hunger. Women and children, predominantly women and children, the aged and the poor, they are the ones who bear the brunt of these misguided economic policies, World Bank engineered policies. They are the ones that are bringing us all of this. So for us to say anything else is deceiving ourselves. We're deceiving ourselves. Mr. President, your policies are causing death in this country, and you need to review that. End of story.
Professor Usman Yusuf, many of these victims were reportedly children, and I'm sure you have your thoughts on the demographic characteristics of these victims. We talk about women and children, we saw some of them. But again, the short and long-term psychological impacts of the stampede on the victims or their families and the wider community, what do you think about that moving forward?
Right. Our people are already traumatized all across this country. Our people are walking like zombies. People are hungry. People do not have anything to eat. Out-of-school children increasing exponentially. Many children that went to tertiary institutions are not going back. If you don't correct the primary problem, we're just going round and round and round and round. It's the failed economic policies of this country, of this president, of this government that is causing this. And it's going to worsen. We've been raising our voices for the president and his advisors to hear because they are not telling him the truth. They are saying all is well. All is not well. Hunger is a national security emergency that this government is taking for granted. All countries in the world, serious democracies know that. That is why the cost of food is very low. That's why there's no tax on food. But here we are. Hunger has been imposed on us by this government. You're overtaxing us. And there is no light at the end of the tunnel for people. And you're asking us to be patient, to be patient, to be patient. I'm a doctor. I write a prescription. Patient is having a problem. You revise that prescription. Mr. President, whatever prescription you got from the World Bank is killing our people. And you need to go to them to tweak this policy. It's not working. It's killing our people. Hyperinflation has eaten into the wealth of our people. People cannot buy food. People are hungry. People are dying. World Health Organization and Medicine Sans Frontières have been raising the alarm, and we have been doing the same. I've been here before with graphics showing the president, showing the world that there is hunger in the land, as we would see in the Sudan, in Darfur, or Yemen, in this our land of plenty, where you see trillions budgeted for this nonsense, that nonsense, this nonsense. We are saying this because the anger of hungry citizenry cannot be contained by any military. Mr. President, wake up.
Anyway, it was in court today for what is called the abuse of office, awarding contracts to family members when he was the NHIS director. And I bet this was under Bukwari as well, I think. So in court today. I mean, there's something, right, about these northerners. All right? There seems to be, all of them seems to be like thieves. Even though he has his own supporters who are like, this guy, as the director of the NHIS, he had the privilege, right, of signing billions of naira contracts, right? So now they are trying him for 38 million naira. So it's like, that's so small of a money to be stolen. You know, Nigerian, like they love their own thieves differently. Sure, you get. So don't be surprised by that. All right? But if you look at those who were appointed from northern Nigeria, especially the ones that just the immediate past ones under Bukwari, like 100% of them were thieves. All of them were thieves. Tunde Sabitu, Bukwari's personal secretary, Ashishe Bukwari, give me their names. This one was one of them. You have Malamu, you have Adisirika, you have Shadia. Like, these northerners were like born thieves. But the South, or the Southerners, are believed to be corrupt people. Have you kind of like noticed? Like, these are Ogologo thieves, like criminals. Go. Sure, you get? Like, every position given to them, all of them, or not any one of them spared. They robbed the country. And I'm not trying to kind of be like, this is what I'm saying, it's not to spare or to kind of like, I'm not trying to make those from the South look like they are better. No, they are not better off. I'm just saying that there is this level of stereotyping in Nigeria that will make you believe that northerners, they are religious. They are honest. It's a stereotyping shit, oh, sure you get. Because Southerners, they are very flashy. They are very smart. But Southerners are not as smart as they are. I'm talking about looting of billions to trillions of naira. Like it's nothing. And the money will disappear from the entire system. Using their banks, using their bureau de change, the money will disappear like that. So if any of them is called upon, when you look at him, you'll be like, now this one. Remember the former Accountant General of Nigeria that stole, what is that guy's name from Kano? The one that stole 198 billion naira. If you look at the guy, Mukhtar or something, that's his name, under Bukwari. Like when they loot, even fear go catch you. I say, how did you do it? And then you will look at them, you look at the person that just looted. Look at the Sanusi, he's also a criminal, a thief. He was about to be jailed. He was to be sacked, arrested, and jailed. When Kwakwan Sop quickly made him emir of Kano. So that if you come for him, if Jonathan came for him then, it would have turned to the North versus Jonathan. He eventually turned to that anyway. Over 100 billion naira mismanaged in the Central Bank of Nigeria. And what did he do? He just dropped the bombshell that NNPC has failed to remit $50 billion. So everybody just forgot about his own stealing, his own loots and all that. They started holding it. Well, 50 billion. Then he changed it, 35 billion. Then he changed it again, 20 billion. How much is missing? $12 billion. And that was how, plus other propaganda against Jonathan that time. That was how everything and everybody associated with Jonathan were considered thieves, Ogologo thieves. Meanwhile, this guy was being investigated for mismanaging and looting over 100 billion naira. Sanusi Emir of Kano, admin. When they loot, Baba, they loot like, say, do you know how much Shadia looted? Under Shadia, the Ministry of Humanitarian Disaster, Poverty Management, on record, they said they disbursed over 4 trillion naira. 4 trillion naira, Baba. Who they give the money to? A court ruled that Shadia must refund. Yeah, a court ruled last year that Shadia must refund 900, nearly 1 trillion naira as looted money. Do you know that till today, 9 naira she hasn't returned? 9 naira she has not refunded. But if you look at Shadia, you'll be like, now this woman looted over 1 trillion naira. How? Where is the money? Go and look at Addis Sirika. Addis Sirika stole over 200 billion naira on this fake Nigeria Air nonsense alone. Addis Sirika stole over 72 billion naira. 72 billion. But if you look at Addis Sirika right now, you will see him with a YBA, you will see him with a Tesbih, and he will be shouting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Yeah? Like when they loot, Baba, it's like, I'm not. Nigeria. Northerners, the greatest criminals in Nigeria. Yeah? Once the money gathered like that, they loot it. Then somehow, the stereotype makes you believe that the Southerners are, they are the smartest. Boki no to get sense. Northerners no too smart. Or they, the real economic saboteur of Nigeria, they are Northerners. Yeah, they are. This issue of round tripping that Bokwari used in emptying the Nigeria Central Bank. Who were the beneficiary? Northerners. Those who were using 1984, 1985, for me see something. When Nigeria Naira was 1 naira 50 kobo to $1. They were using that in 2016, 2017 to collect millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. So we've submitted our form for dollar supply since 1986, since 1985. They backdated all of that until they emptied the treasury, until they emptied the Central Bank of Nigeria. Northerners. And the money disappeared in the system. You can't trace it. Gone. As they are looking for Diezani's stolen money, properties all over the world, you can't see the properties of all these looters from northern Nigeria. You can't. Yeah? Bagudu, Abubakar Bagudu, Abacha's bagman, who has given Nigeria. Do you know that guy is a former governor of Kebbi? He is now the minister under Tipnumbu, minister of national planning or something. It was, if not because America caught him, arrested him in America in 2001, when he had to sign a deal that it will show them all the places where he kept Abacha money. Nigeria was selling crude oil in the black market because Nigeria became a pariah state that, sanctions were on Nigeria because of Abacha. Guess those who are helping Abacha to sell crude oil of Nigeria money and then moving the money about these northerners. One of them is Abubakar Bagudu. He's a minister under Tifnubu right now. This guy alone has helped repatriate over $9 billion Abacha money. But not without a deal that gives him 20% of the money. Can you believe that? 20% of any money that he helped to tell them where the money is and they got the money back to Nigeria, they will give him 20%. 20% of that money. Somebody who's supposed to go jail. But he got rewarded. He became a governor, served 8 years, and immediately after that, he is now working with the druggie, Tifnumbu, as a minister. Northerners. So this NHS guy, NHIS guy, somehow a lot of people were surprised that they are not charging him for stealing maybe 100 billion or 38 million naira or 90 million naira. Somebody said 90 million naira. No, it's 38 million. That's the money. To some, they're like, that's the money you can just pay off and say, yeah, take your money back. Because to them, that's peanuts.